Hi, my name is Rory and this is episode 4 in a 5-part mini-series I'm doing on drawing the face. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to draw the head and how to combine all the features you've drawn so far to make a face. Okay, so now we're going to bring all of what has gone before in this together and place it on the head. So when you're drawing a head, you start off with an egg shape. Just an egg shape like this, where it is slightly wider at the top than it is at the bottom. And this is basically your starting point, and I like to just draw the shoulders in as well, just to give your character a little bit more, to have him be a little bit more than just a floating head. And then on your face you have your proportion lines, which I recommend always drawing in when drawing something. So you split the face in half, which is the median of your face, and that is just the center point to show you where every detail mirrors. And then you split the face in half vertically. And a lot of people, when they're starting drawing, they won't do the eye line at the halfway point in the face, but it's actually, that's where it is, because a lot of the top of the head is hidden by the hairline. So the eyes are actually placed on the center of the head. So basically split your head into quarters like that to have the first part of your guidelines. Then this line here, you want to split that again, and that will be where the base of your nose is. And then finally you have the line once more, and that is where the mouth rests. So you split down the middle, and then along that line you draw horizontal lines, one at the halfway point, one halfway between that line and the chin, which is here, and then another one halfway between that second line and the chin, which is that one there, and you have your eyes, nose and mouth. And like I said in the eye drawing video, sometimes it can be helpful to draw an eye in the center of the head, because this will show you where your eyes are supposed to start, because your eyes are one eye apart. It's also very useful because the nose is the width of an eye, so when you're drawing the nose in, you will be able to use that as a guideline as well. So I'm just going to go in and suggest the details of the eyes. Just draw them like that, and the edge of the head is supposed to be a half an eye away from the edge of the outer edge of the eyes. So that is another good way of looking at your proportions. And then you just draw in your irises. And suggest the eyebrows, just as you did before. This is all pretty much the exact same technique. I'm just doing them side by side so that I can try and keep the same level of detail in. And then there is our pupils and our highlights on the pupils, and then just a bit of shading in the eyebrows will darken them and make them look just that little bit more realistic. And there you have your eyes in. And then from here you want to have the bridge of your nose coming down. So the nose kind of runs from the base of the eyebrows. The eyebrows, if you feel on your face, run along, if you run along the brow bone, it comes to the top of the nose. So it doesn't hurt to suggest that in your image when you're drawing it in. And this, like I said earlier, when people have there's a strong tendency to over define the nose, so don't bring this line. I always tend to draw a full line on this side and a half line on that side, just so that I don't end up with the nose over defined. And then you suggest at the base of the nose there and the nostrils, and just your two half brackets to give your character's nose its final shape. And then along this line here, and from the center of each pupil is where the edge points of your mouth are on the ideal face. Now a lot of the times you find that the mouth can come out a bit further or it can come in a bit thinner, but that is the proportional rule, so it should be roughly around where the center of the pupils are when you're looking forward. So you'd have that line coming down coming down there. And I think that looks like it would just be a little bit too wide on this face here, so I've decided to just keep it in a little bit, because remember, imperfection is the key to perfection. So by just leaving it like that, there, and then there you have your face assembled on the basic outline of the head. And then what you want to draw is just loops for your ears, and these go from the top of the eyebrows to the base of the nose. That is where the ears run from, and you just try and keep them evenly sized, even though a lot of people do not have evenly sized or evenly sticky outiness of ears. And then you go on and draw in the jawline. I like to draw quite angular jaws on my characters, unless I'm drawing them to be a bit overweight. So I start on the chin with a horizontal line there, and sometimes just give it a little bit of a dimple, and then our sharp lines going up to about the edge of the eyes, and then from there is where you bring a final sharper line coming down on either side, like that. And if you're drawing a female face, then you draw these but just a bit rounder. And then you can fill in your shoulders, just define them a bit more. If it's a male character, you can suggest the Adam's apple with just a shape like that. And then the top of the head, because this poor unfortunate chap does not have any hair, the top of the head is like that. And then once you have all of your details down, you can erase your guidelines. You can start putting in a bit of shading where you think it will add to the detail of your character. And that is the basics in drawing the head. Oh, and if you want your character to have a really strong angular or somewhat gaunt appearance, you can just draw lines in here and here, which are the cheekbones, and they can also be quite useful for when you're shading. And that is how you draw the human head and have the features for the head on the face. I hope you enjoyed learning how to draw the head. Don't forget to comment the video and to subscribe. I'll see you next time.